exactly did you persuade Bolex to give you their blessing? I mean, wouldn't they rather build the digital Bolex themselves?
The process of persuading Bolex International to partner with us on this project was a very challenging one. It took me many months, and I just really believed that this was a good partnership, and had to convince them. They had been approached by other companies that wanted to make cameras using their name, and they had declined those offers. And it was a long process, as I said, but I believe ultimately they signed on because they believe in the product. They believe that we're going to be making a long-lasting, high-quality camera that will service the market that they once so strongly dominated. And I think that they would like their name and the product, sort of the morality of their products to live on.
So if someone was in a similar position, whatever the product, how much is too much in terms of polite persistence? How often would you say follow up with a bigger organization so that you're not annoying, but you're still getting your message across?
I mean, I think one important thing is to figure out who it is you need to be talking to at the company. You know, we are now talking to someone at the very top, but at the beginning it was more difficult for Joe to get to that point, and I think that there was a lot of runaround early on because of that.
I think I called someone at the company or a related company probably once or twice a week for 9 months before I really got to where we wanted to be.
Yeah, it wasn't like that they were not interested, it was that it just took a while to get to the person that would be the appropriate person to talk to. You know, some people pinged us back to the distributing arm, and they were like, well, we wouldn't be the people that would be appropriate for this. So if there were someone else wanting to make this kind of partnership with a company, I think doing the research to figure out who they should be talking to and, you know, what, if any, history they have with partnering with other companies would be good.
So what kept you going to continue with a phone call or email, whatever it was, per week? How come you didn't just finally give up and say, well, obviously this isn't working?
Well, Joe is a very persistent person, and so it's not surprising that after months of not getting quite there, you know, that wouldn't stop him. You know, he was never told no, and I think that was an important thing, but also just, you know, persevering and pushing through.
I think a lot of not just the business world, but the world in general is being able to be persistent in the face of hardships or something like that. And I just really wanted it and decided I was going to do whatever it took to get there.
And in terms of the length of any email or phone call, would you keep it brief or would you go into more detail?
No, I mean, sometimes, now in order to call Switzerland, I was generally waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning. So, and sometimes it was an hour, 2 hour long conversation at 4 in the morning in order to get to a place of understanding.
But, you know, at the end of the day, they would never have said yes if they were not interested by the product, if they were not convinced that, you know, we were the right people, and not just that we were the right people, but that we were capable of delivering. Because, you know, in attaching themselves to this, you know, they are lending their name and their credibility and everything that company has existed for. And that's awesome, because it's great when you're starting out on a project to have that kind of weight behind you.
It was a really big deal for us. Yeah, definitely.